Hey guys, I want to do a little test with you to see some things about pronunciation. I'm going to put a little phrase on the screen. Imagine this is one sentence. I've given you different thought groups. The first one being you don't, second one being get to talk, the last thought group being about anything. Take a moment to just say to yourself that phrase as a complete sentence. Think about how you would say it. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to show you a video where it's going to be on mute. You're not going to hear her say anything, but I want you to imagine that she's saying this exact sentence. And how do you think she would say it? Take a look at this. Okay, so if you had to put all those words into her mouth, you had to make her say those things. Do you think she would have said it the same way that you said it? What would be different? Today, we're going to be exploring a little bit about body language. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show, which is Wake Up American. We are here every single day, typically between the hours of 7 a.m. 8 a.m. New York, though today a little bit earlier because I have to head out tomorrow morning, to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for the day because, hey, that's what it takes. Look, if you're serious about pronunciation and trying to get real change in the way that you talk, we got to show up for ourselves. We got to show up for ourselves in a consistent way. And I'm here to help you do that. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That is one of the 4 keys to a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. And again, we're talking a little bit about body language. So let's just kind of begin by talking about what are some of the movements that she's doing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is she's kind of doing this. She's kind of like pointing and she's also moving it forward. And how often is she doing it and how fast is she doing it? Okay, so that first movement is going very slow. And this is something that we're going to see a lot with body movement things is that when we're incorporating some body language into our speech, we don't want to make it too fast. Do it a little bit slow, do it controlled, and that's going to be helpful because if I start doing this or like I start going crazy with my head, it's going to be very distracting to your listener, right? So she's doing this. Maybe, for instance, she's explaining something or she's really stressing something. So imagine, how do you think if she's doing this, how do you think she's saying those words? Okay. Maybe she's doing something like this. See if this would make sense for you. Like you don't get to talk. And then after that, we get that final part. Where what does she change? So she's no longer doing this. What is she doing? She's taking her hand, she's kind of whipping it. Okay, she goes like this, and then a very dramatic motion with her hand. Okay, how does her face change? Notice that when she gets to that, suddenly it becomes like way more animated. She's like this, and then this. It's like this, and then this. Way more movement with that. With her face, her eyes get bigger and things like that. So if you had to say this sentence with these sorts of movements, what would it sound like? Maybe something like this, like you don't get to talk about anything. You don't get to talk about anything. Maybe something like that. However way you did it, my question for you would be, is the way you're saying it now that we've incorporated some of the body language, is that different than how you said the sentence at the beginning? If you found this to have some impact on the way that you're talking, I do just want to kind of let you know about a workshop we're doing. This workshop is going to be next week. It's on the 12th. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. And basically, what we're going to be doing is very similar to what we just did, but in much, much, much more detail. We're going to be talking about how can you incorporate your body language to make your communication a lot more effective. So if you found just that little demonstration helpful in changing the way you talked, you're like, oh wow, when I started adding this, or when I started adding some head movements, or when I started doing this, it changed how I talked. I sounded different than when I didn't do that. If you actually encountered that, well, this is just a demonstration of just how powerful your body can be on your speech. And if you'd like to go in more detail, then again, check out this workshop. It would be great to work with you. Limit to 5 people. And again, 11 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. New York time. So depending on your time zone, maybe that'll work out a little bit better for you, um, and things like that. But regardless, I hope that when you're talking, when you're communicating with people, you're finding ways to incorporate more body language, whether it's like nods, using your hands, using your facial expressions, and things like that to become a more effective communicator. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. Also, want to give a quick shout out to Elsa. Elsa helps make these streams possible. If you're trying to study smaller aspects of pronunciation, like individual vowel sounds, maybe comparing like sit and seat or lock and luck, things like that. If you think those words sound the same or similar, Elsa has lots of materials that you can use for free to practice them. Check out the link in the video description or in the comments after. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you later. Have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon.